We begin in 1972 with an argument between Anne and James in the Clark family home about problems at the factory and with their daughter, Megan. Tanya arrives home and all family members disperse. Anne goes to take a bath, Dennis goes to the attic, James watches TV, Tanya goes to check on Megan, and Anthony goes to the kitchen. Megan places her doll near the lit stove, starting a house fire in which the family members die one by one. Tanya hanged by her scarf while trying to escape from the second floor, Megan, who burns in the fire, Dennis, who is impaled on the spiked fence outside their house, James, drunk and crushed by falling debris, and Anne, who suffocates from smoke inhalation. Anthony, locked out of the house and forced to watch his family members perish, runs back into the house to find Anne, as he did not see her die. Sometime later, there is a funeral for the deceased members of the family, which is attended by Tanya's boyfriend, Vincent. In 2020, the curator explains that the fire was inevitable and that it would be better to focus on the future. A bus driver is taking 4 students, Andrew, Angela, Daniel, and Taylor, along with their professor John, on a class trip and is forced to take a detour through the ghost town of Little Hope due to an accident blocking the road. In order to avoid hitting a little girl who suddenly appears in the dense fog, the driver swerves off the road, causing the bus to flip over and giving Andrew a head injury. The driver disappears, leaving the remaining group of 5 to search for him and seek help after the crash. Walking along the road, the group stumbles upon a bar, sees a light inside, and decides to investigate. Inside, they find only one person, who introduces himself as Vince, but he's unable to help them as he is drunk. As they leave the bar, they hear bells, leading them to believe there is someone in the town. On the way, Andrew and Angela lag behind the others and find a doll at a campsite fire. Upon picking it up, a girl in strange clothes and an accent suddenly grabs them. She introduces herself as Mary and asks them to play with her. A woman named Amy appears, scolds Mary for witchcraft, and, seeing Andrew and Angela, leaves. When the rest of the group reunites with them, they begin to explain what they saw, but are not believed, as there is no trace of anything like what they describe. Back in the curator's repository, he briefly discusses the personalities of each group member, as well as Mary's troubled situation. Upon reaching a covered bridge, they run into Amy again and are shocked that she looks exactly like Angela. The group decides to split up. Taylor and Daniel follow the trail to the school, while John, Andrew, and Angela continue along the road and discover the police department. They all collide with Mary and see flashbacks, from which they learn that Mary told Reverend Carver, the town's priest, that Amy was a witch, and she is arrested and sentenced to death, despite protesting from Amy's husband, Joseph. When the group is reunited, they reach a collapsed bridge, where they see Amy being bound by chains, thrown into the river, and drowning. Descending from the bridge, they are attacked by Amy, still bound in chains, now in a demonic form. Andrew must decide to save either John or Angela, and decides to save Angela before she can be drowned by demonic Amy. The curator praises Andrew for saving Angela, and offers to provide a clue about forgiving himself. Andrew, John, and Angela escape to the cemetery, where they find the Clark family graves, and proceed on back to the main road. They see Mary again, and while following her, a demon attacks Angela, dragging her into the sewers. Andrew and John go to the museum and learn the history of the town, including the witch trials held there in 1692. Taylor and Daniel, taking a different path, also end up in the museum just after Andrew and John have left. Taylor has a vision of the past, where Mary's older sister, Tabitha, who looks like Taylor, is accused of witchcraft, citing her use of dolls for rituals. The curator comments on the current situation and congratulates Daniel on picking up a knife. He also gives a hint that everyone has their own demons and that they are theirs alone. Going out and reaching the execution site, Taylor and Daniel witness a vision of Tabitha being hanged. Returning to the road, they are chased by demonic Tabitha, floating in midair with its neck and hands still bound. Fleeing from the demon, the couple reunite with Andrew and John, and the group takes refuge in a church, where they see a vision of Mary's brother, David, being accused of witchcraft and thrown off the bell tower onto a fence below, despite Daniel's efforts to save him. While exploring the church in the present, demonic David attacks, using pieces of the fence still jutting out of him as weapons, and the group escapes. In the forest, they re-encounter Angela, who survived and escaped the sewer. Soon Daniel and Taylor are attacked again by the demons, with Andrew and John rescuing Taylor, while Daniel fends for himself, before they all regroup and escape. Upon reaching an old condemned building, the group experiences another vision, this time of Abraham, Mary's new guardian, talking to Joseph regarding suspicions about her. Andrew is given the option of expressing his opinion regarding either Mary or Carver being guilty, and decides to speak against Carver. The group discusses the situation in the present, just before demonic Tabitha attacks, nearly killing Taylor, but she fights it off and escapes. Back on the road, the group ends up at the old factory where James Clark was working in 1972 before he died, long since closed and abandoned, and they have another vision where Abraham asks for advice on what to tell the judge regarding Mary. In the present, as the group is leaving the factory, Daniel falls into a pit and is attacked by demonic David. He is nearly killed, but manages to escape through a tunnel. After getting out of the factory, the group follows Mary to a burned-down house, where they see a vision of Joseph being crushed by stones. Returning to the present, demonic Joseph and demonic Amy attack John and Angela. They are nearly killed, but work together to escape the demons and reach the house. Hiding inside, they discover the remaining belongings of the Clark family, identifying it as the Clark family home. Upon realizing this, all 4 demons begin to approach the house. On the second floor, Mary pulls Andrew into another vision, this time of her trial, and pleads with him to help her, as Carver accuses her of witchcraft. Abraham asks Andrew for some final advice, whether to blame the witchcraft on Mary, Carver, or the ritualistic doll, and he advises him to accuse Carver, whose Bible is revealed to have occult drawings inside it, and is taken away with Mary's name cleared. Returning to the present, the demons have disappeared, and the group leaves the house. Night turns into morning, and the group continues to walk down the road, now cleared of the thick fog. Vince approaches them, telling Andrew that what happened the night of the fire wasn't his fault, revealing that he is the adult form of Vincent, Tanya's boyfriend from 1972. He also informs Andrew that there is a working phone at a diner down the road, advises him to call for help, and to never return to the town, as there is nothing left for him there anymore. The group makes it to the diner, and the 5 celebrate their survival. Andrew then apologizes to everyone for everything he put them through, and they comfort him, telling him it wasn't his fault. All members except for Andrew suddenly disappear, revealing that they were his hallucinations all along. Andrew is also revealed to be the bus driver, the adult form of Anthony from 1972, who was the sole survivor of the Clark family home fire, sustaining only a major burn on his left ear from attempting to rescue them. Having faced and successfully conquered his inner demons and guilt from not being able to save his family when he was younger, Anthony is finally able to move on from his past.